Hello, I'm Edward Tarte, once a Catholic priest for 5 years, that was about 45 years ago, now an atheist, meaning that I now simply find no credible evidence for the existence of any God. The website friendlyatheist.com, linked below, is for me a seemingly inexhaustible resource. I strongly recommend it. It is maintained by a person like me, a high school math teacher. The latest posting on it, today, September 25th, 2010, is a cartoon drawing of a young man about to lay a sandbag against a flood, with his dad standing nearby. He says to his dad, "Before I set this sandbag down, Dad, I need you to clarify whether this flood is God's will and we're subverting His judgment by stopping the water, or whether it's God's will that we sandbag the flood, meaning that God visited this horrible act on us intentionally." That is the keynote inspiration for this video of mine about God's will. Now, although I do not believe in any God, to communicate in this video, I will refer to God, meaning whatever God the believer believes in. In the Lord's Prayer, Christians pray to their God, "Our Father, thy will be done." Christians and many others believe that their God has a plan and that He carries it out according to His will. In this video, I will focus on the part of God's plan that are natural disasters and diseases. So first we have a flood. Is that young man, the sandbagger, going against God's will? A devastating hurricane takes place, and people work together to limit the damage. They pray to their God for help, praying to the same God who, according to their theology, caused the hurricane to begin with. The same way with a devastating earthquake, the same way with a devastating tsunami. Many victims of such disasters turn to their religious faith, and many say that the disaster has actually strengthened their faith. Does that make sense? Not to me. As some of you know, I have cancer and am taking treatments from a cancer center where hundreds, even thousands of doctors, nurses, researchers, and other support people are working tirelessly to oppose and defeat my cancer cells and the cancer cells of thousands of other patients. The believer's God put those cells in my body to begin with. Are those cancer center workers, and am I, by undergoing treatment, subverting God's will? Or is it God's will now that He wants us to work against His earlier will? Recently, at the home of a math student, at the end of our tutoring session, I told this high school boy and his dad that I have cancer. The dad replied, "We will pray for you," and that was nice of him. One of my standard responses is simply, "Thank you." But on this occasion, I said calmly, and I hope politely, "You're going to pray to the same God who put these cancer cells in my body in the first place?" And the high school kid gave a little nervous laugh. They have not banished me from their home. I still tutor him weekly. Does any of this make sense? Many believers say that these disasters are all the result of original sin, the sin of Adam and Eve, who wanted knowledge and, in an attempt to get it, ate a piece of fruit that God told them not to eat. And because of that, down through the thousands of years, we have millions and billions of natural disasters and horrible diseases. Anyway, there is consensus of biblical scholars that Adam and Eve never even existed. On that basis, all these disasters are the results of a make-believe eating of fruit by two make-believe people. I've said it before. That is crazy. The whole thing about God's will is crazy. It makes no sense if your God exists. But it makes perfect sense if there is no God. Bad things happen for many reasons. It's up to us to fight against these bad things. It's that simple. Finally, your homework assignment. Visit the website friendlyatheist.com, linked below. Thank you for watching this video.